For this video, we're going to look at composite solids, which means we're going to take several 3D figures and combine them and then find the surface area and volume. So for our first example, we want to find the surface area of this shape. And it looks like we've got a cylinder with a diameter of 6 and a height of 8, and we've got two congruent cones that are both 4 units tall and have the same diameter of 6. So we're going to find that surface area. Remember, the surface area is like the skin of this shape. So we're really looking at just the lateral area of each figure because this base is on the inside, and same as this base. So we're looking at this lateral area of the cone plus the lateral area of the cylinder plus the lateral area of the other cone. Now both the cones are congruent, so really we're looking at twice the lateral area of the cones plus the lateral area of the cylinder. Our formula for the lateral area of a cone is pi times the radius times the slant height. And if for a cylinder, it's 2 times pi times the radius times the height of the cylinder. Right? Or our circumference times the height. So we know our radius has got to be 3, half of this diameter 6, and we need to know the slant height. Now we know that our height of this cone is 4, and that's going to make a right angle, and we know that our radius is 3. So you've got a right triangle with 3 and 4 as the legs, and we need to find our hypotenuse for our slant height. And 3 and 4 are part of our Pythagorean triple, 3, 4, 5. So that means our slant height has to be 5. So then we can start plugging in. We have 2 times pi times our radius 3 and our slant height 5 plus 2 times pi times our radius 3 and our height of the cylinder, which is 8. Remember, this is for the cylinder and this is for the cones. Alright, we can start simplifying. We have 2 times 3 times 5, which is 30. We have 30 pi plus 2 times 3 times 8, which is 48 pi. And we can combine those to make 78 pi, which is our exact answer. Or we can plug this into the calculator and get 245.04 units squared. And that's our surface area. For the same shape, we can find the volume. Now for volume, we're going to include these bases because we're thinking about everything it takes to make up this shape. Right? What this shape, if we filled it up, how much it would take to fill it up. Right? So we're still looking at 2 cones. So we're going to double the volume of each cone, and then we're going to add it to the volume of that cylinder. Formula for the volume of a cone is 1/3 times our base, which is pi r squared, times the height of our cone. And the volume of a cylinder is our base, pi r squared, times the height of the cylinder. So now we can start filling in again. This is the same shape, so we know our radius is 3. So we can say 2 times 1/3 times pi times our radius 3 squared times our height of 4. Plus our pi times our radius 3 squared times the height of the cylinder, which is 8. So we've got 2 times 1/3 times 3 squared times 4. If we multiply all those out, we get 24 pi plus pi times 3 squared times 8, or pi times 9 times 8, and we get 72 pi. We add those together and get 96 pi, which is our exact answer, or if you plug it in, we get 301.59 units squared. Units cubed, sorry. We're doing with volume. Alright, next example, we've got this box with a cylinder cut out of the middle. So it's kind of like you have an opening that goes straight through, like a little tunnel. Alright, so we got this cube because we know all of these sides are base, and the length and the width and the height are all the same, and they're all going to be this 5. Alright, so we want to find the surface area. So we're going to find the surface area of this cube. Alright, then we have to add this area in here. So we're going to add the surface area of our cylinder. But if we think about this shape, we don't need the whole surface area of the cylinder. We only need the lateral area. And then we don't have any surface here. These are openings, the two bases of our cylinder. So we're going to have to subtract twice the base of the cylinder from our cube. Because we're thinking about this whole cube minus these two ends, and then we're adding in the lateral area of our cylinder. So the formula for the surface area of a cube is going to be the perimeter of the base times the height of the cube. And then we're going to add in the lateral area of a cylinder, which like we said before is 2 times pi times the radius times the height. And then we're going to subtract twice the base. Right? The base is a circle, so it's going to be 2 pi r squared. Right? This is a cube. That means all the sides and all the edges are the same. They're all 5. So our perimeter is going to be 5 times 4. Because we have 4 sides, and then we're going to multiply that by our height of 5. We're going to add that to 2 times pi times our radius. Now the radius is referring to the radius of our cylinder, which is 2. And the height of our cylinder, which goes from one face to the other face, so it's going to have the same height as our cube, which is 5, minus 2 times pi times our radius of 2 squared. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 5 is 100. Plus 2 pi times 10 minus 2 pi times 4. So then we have 100 plus 2 times 10 is 20. And then 2 times 4 is 8. We can combine 20 pi and 8 pi because they both have pi. So we end up with 100 plus 12 pi. Because 20 pi minus 8 pi is 12 pi. Which this would be our exact answer because we can't simplify it anymore. Or we can plug it in and we get 137.70 units squared. And that's the surface area. Now we're going to find the volume of this same figure. So if we think about volume, we got to find the volume of the cube first, and then we're going to subtract the volume of the cylinder because we want just the part that's inside this shape. So we're going to do the cube minus the cylinder. Right? So to find the volume of the cube, we're going to do the area of the base times the height. And to find the volume of the cylinder, we're going to do the area of the base, which specifically is pi r squared times the height. Alright, so the base of this is going to be 5 times 5, which is 25, and our height is 5, minus pi times our radius is 2, and our height is 5. 25 times 5 is 125. Then we add 2 squared, which is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. So this would be our exact answer because we can't simplify it anymore. Or you can type it in the calculator and we can get 62.17 units cubed. And that would be the volume of this shape.